Here we go. Let's get Chip out of the background of the shot there. Ready? Yep. It's another Toolbox Tour. We're here with Michael Godin with Millennium Technologies, Aprilia, KWS, Factory Racing. I got all the names, not in the right order, though.
The order always changes.
So you're going to give us a Toolbox Tour. You got this is the toolbox here that you take down to the pit wall and what you use most of the time, right?
Yeah, this is the stuff that if we want to either make tuning changes on the wall or quick things that we can do to the bike, not really in depth, and we don't have to tear the whole bike apart. This is, the minimal amount of tools that we bring to the wall, so it makes our job easy. Get them in places so it's quick and convenient to grab stuff. You know where stuff is, but you're also not bringing like the whole house and kitchen sink and everything garage with it.
Because if you need those tools, it's not good.
You probably don't need to be at the wall anymore. We need to carry an airbox. Well, if you need an airbox, there's way more stuff wrong with the bike than to have it. So.
All right. Well, let's start at the top here. The biggest thing I see in the top section is this 18-volt gun here.
The Makita. This is between this and my torque wrench, which is what I break the axles off with, and then use the gun to speed them in and out, and also torque them down with. So those are the way we have our wheels. There, you just pull the axle and yank the wheels. You don't have to pull calipers or move anything else out of the way. So this is what we do the most. Hopefully, is just take wheels on and off. The last time we were on the track, we were considering changing slipper clutches. So this is a tray that has different clutch springs, primary and slipper clutches, and all the associated tools just to do that. So if we say, yes, we're going to do a clutch, I pop this socket off, and those all have the same bits that go in here, and 5 minutes later I can have a clutch spring changed and have them back out. But that's everything. You just throw the pan underneath the clutch, start pulling parts, let the oil drain into it while you work on it. Duct tape, gloves, our radios, tape measures. When we built these bikes originally, we tried to make all the bolts as similar as possible. You carry less tools, and everybody knows what they are. So basically, like 3 ratchets all have a 4, 5, or 6 mil Allen on there. That covers 90% of what's on the motorcycle. T-handles, Allens, and regular socket ones.
T-handles there. You got the little T-handle hanger.
And where we are in pit wall, the toolbox is here, the wall is here, so I reach over the wall and grab this stuff. It's right here. Zip ties in case we have to fasten something or a wire falls down or we just got to move something out of the way real quick. Zip tie the rider to the bike, All
right. And then we go on to some drawers.
Yep. First drawer, this is my phone, because everybody needs to know where I am. We have a couple different throttle tube assemblies. This is a ramping one. It's progressive. It starts off slow and ramps up really fast. And then these are a couple just different diameters, so the rider has different feel. These are things that are really easy to change, and the only time we're going to change is on the track. So in a matter of a couple minutes, we can change it. He can go try it and see what the thing does. So we have these here, chain tools in case we need to put a link in or take a link out of the chain if we want to change wheelbase. Sometimes getting the bike to do what you want it to is just as easy as moving the rear wheel back and forth.
So you have one lone 14 millimeter box end, ratcheting box end.
Just for this. This is to cut the chain. So you put that over the link, and that's just to break it. So it doesn't sit with my regular wrenches. So if I need to do a chain, that's where all my chain tools are. Suspension drawer. It is actually labeled suspension drawer because I haven't had the time to label everything else. This is everything to do, mostly fork suspension, but it also has the tools to change ride height. The shock is easier to you have to take the whole thing out to swap springs, and we have it's not down here right now, it's at the wall where it's supposed to be, a spring compressor. But the forks, you don't take the forks out of the bike if you want to change oil level or springs quickly, you do it on the bike. So here's a tray that has pull rods, the different wrenches you need, grease to grease the threads, an oil suction tube. You can either add or take oil out of the forks with that, and different fork springs that are, grab it, see what they are, and change them if you need them. And then the tray. So the tray comes out and just you put it on the seat. You have an extra rag, and then you're working out of the tray instead of constantly going back and forth over the wall and stuff. Just make it as easy as you can. Next drawer. Any wrenches that can be used on the bike sit here. It's kind of messy because we just brought it back to the wall and it gets all jostled around and stuff. But cutters, duckbill pliers, parallel jaw pliers. If we need to, say they crash and we just need to bend a lever out, you grab one of these and it's just enough. It's like a pair of adjustable pliers, but they move quicker. You know, bend things back. Different wrenches if you need to do something that is not an Allen. Our notebooks. This is just information we've accumulated over the year. So every time we go out, we fill out a new page. It all goes in here. So we go. This is always at the wall because Aaron might be. I remember we had this feeling at Ohio, or one of us might think of, Aaron's on the track. We're talking about. Oh, I remember when this happened. We can go back and look at our notes, and I don't have to run back here, and everything's already at the wall, so we can just go through information quickly, either while he's on the track or when he comes in, we can look at stuff. You know, just trying to make things easier. And a data cable to connect to our dash and pull out suspension data and RPM, throttle position data, basic data functions to give us information about the bike. So I always carry my laptop in my bag, and then that's the cable that we use to connect to it. Third drawer, heavier tools, big torque wrench. It fits in there because it doesn't fit in my other toolbox. But that's pretty much just for building engines. Gas tank cover, spare brake pads, which fell apart. A full set of.
You just swing around there. Oh,
yep.
Look at that.
Full set of inserts for the adjustable triple clamps.
Yeah, adjustable offsets.
Sometimes we change them on the wall. But this way it's always, because not only do we work at this while we're on the racetrack, but in between sessions, sometimes it's easier to just stay at the wall. If we have like an hour for the next session, we just stay at the wall and we can do our work there. And this is something that can be done in a matter of anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes.
Right.
So it's still something we consider a viable option at the wall during a session to change. So we carry everything, and we try to carry all this stuff in the box. Impact guns. I have a cordless and an electric. For some reason the cordless dies, we have an electric to go to, or say somebody the other side of the team, they need to use one for Chaz, we both have one. That's for taking off the primary nut for the clutch.
Yeah, now wait, we're talking about this big thing right here?
This one here.
Yeah.
This is the electric impact. Yeah. And this is the same thing, just cordless.
Right, but no, I'm talking about this thing here.
Oh. This is a tool that we made. The cush drive on the Aprilia is kind of odd because you have a plate and studs and nuts instead of most of your all your Japanese bikes. The stud actually screws into the hub. Ours don't. It goes through it. So this is you put all the studs on here, put your sprocket, your hub, and then you put your nuts down. You torque it down, and this gives you something to hold on to so you can torque them down and then pop the hub off.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Awesome.
On the bottom, the quick stuff is we have all our, we carry our tire warmers. So usually we have an idea what our gearing is going to be, but we always have 1 or 2 teeth up and down. So we have enough spare hubs to have 4 or 5 sprockets ready, because to do that whole process, which is what that tool's for, it's kind of a pain in the butt. And you don't want to spend 5 minutes changing a sprocket. You just change the whole hub out, you're back on the track in a couple minutes.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You've been doing it a lot of years, and this is what you need.
Yeah, pretty much. Everybody does it a little different. Some of it's based on money. Some of it's based on what you feel you need to have at the wall, and everybody does it a little different, but usually it's the same stuff when you really look at everything.
Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.